with the Super Bowl coming up, a lot of fans are betting on who will win, but others are more concerned with who will take home the engagement ring. Is Travis Kelce going to propose to Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? Does it depend on whether he wins or loses? Is this even in the cards, or have they been a PR relationship this entire time? It looks like from the betting odds so far, 93.7% of people believe Kelce will not be proposing.
I don't think he should, even if he was planning to. I think that you're taking a team victory and making it about you if you go and do this. I think this is a horrible idea.
Totally. I can't imagine why she would want that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Right? Like,
she would
just
like
from
him to
the
do
basic...
it. She would like him to do it at her tour while on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's making himself the star of it, whether he wins or loses. Can you even propose if you lose the game?
That would be the funniest. The funniest version. So in the movie Little Big League, it's a throwback to any baseball movie fans. Little Big League was a movie about Billy Haywood, who is an 11-year-old who becomes the manager for the Minnesota Twins. Oddly enough, I'm not wearing a Twins hat today. I'm wearing a Seattle. Oh, but in the ALCS at the end of the movie, his star player, who is dating his mom, is coming up to bat, and he says, and he goes, "I asked your mom to marry you." To marry her, and he says, he goes, what did you say, or what did she say? He goes, she told me to ask you. He goes, hit a homer and you can marry her. And then as he's going up to bat, he says, you can marry her even if you don't hit a homer. And lo and behold, spoiler alert, it's one of the few movies where they don't win at the end. He actually gets robbed of a homer by Ken Griffey Jr., but he then goes home with, the family.
Okay.
So I don't think.
So he could still salvage it.
No, I don't think he can do that. Like I said, that's a movie.
Okay.
I don't think he can be like, oh man, we lost. Even the refs couldn't get us to win. And then he goes up and proposes, and she's like, I'm not going to marry a loser. Try again next year.
I think if Travis Kelce does propose at the Super Bowl, that would be the ultimate proof that this was orchestrated from the very start, and that this was on a schedule, and that everything is scripted, and perhaps even that the Super Bowl itself is rigged. It is sports entertainment at the end of the day, isn't it?
Look,
they would not.
I do not think it is rigged.
If they rigged the Super Bowl, they wouldn't have to disclose that. That wouldn't have to be disclosed to the public.
There are all sorts of conspiracy theories going on right now about whether the refs are complicit in this because, there have been some calls that have benefited the Chiefs, and a lot of people will tell you that Patrick Mahomes is perhaps the most protected quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think it's rigged personally.
One piece of evidence that Swifties have found to prove that she is about to get engaged is that she's been spotted wearing something called an infinity ring on her index finger as of late. And it's traditionally seen as a pre-engagement ring, as they signify devotion or promise for a future engagement. I guess a promise ring, but
promise to make you an honest woman ring?
Juvenile sounding. I always thought that getting a promise ring as an adult woman was just so humiliating.
Okay, look, I'm not a person who can understand people super well, but if somebody had asked me what would Mary think of promise rings as an adult, I could have told you right away what she would have thought.
Yeah, I think you can guess pretty safely I'm against that. But the only time it's acceptable is if you're both in high school. Like if you're a couple that's too young to get married and you're still teenagers, maybe then that would be fine. But even then it's so unnecessary. So I don't know if she meant to send any sort of signal by wearing that ring. I doubt it.
Look, I think that if I'm to assume that it's not all one big version of the Truman Show and we're not all being puppeteered around, that I don't think that he does that to his teammates to make their victory all about him. I don't think he does that.
A lot of people thought it was going to happen at the Super Bowl last year, and they had only been together for what?
I didn't think
less
it was gonna,
than a year at
I
that
didn't think
point.
it was going to happen at that point either.
And there have also been all of these rumors about Taylor being pregnant.
I mean, it'll end up being one of those things where they're he proposed to her, and it'll be on some random island in the middle of the Maldives. Then there'll be photos and videos of it. I don't think that it's going to happen at the Super Bowl.
The only way that I would believe their relationship is real and not coordinated in any way is if this engagement, whenever it happens behind closed doors.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it happened in private, and I guess
like
if they had
Zendaya
their own,
and Tom Holland.
they had their own photographer. That's fine. But,
like Tom Holland proposed to Zendaya in her home without anyone watching, without any cameras recording
That's
it.
what happened to me too. Everybody wanted to know when I was going to get engaged.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, hold on,
Alert
guys.
the media.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to do it on my own. I know you guys want to know everything about me, but don't, okay? It's just, it's private.
Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift after the Super Bowl? This is according to voters on BetMGM in Ontario. They say yes. But one response says, if this happens, the whole relationship is a PR stunt, just as I feared. No way Taylor wants this done in public, given her desire for privacy. I don't believe she has as much of a desire for privacy as people believe, given that she is on screen to a point where it annoys NFL fans.
It hasn't been like
during these games, but
we watched the last 2 Chiefs games, and I did not see an excessive. I don't even remember seeing her on screen once. Maybe she wasn't at one of those games. I don't know.
She was going sporadically at a certain point, but I remember seeing a lot of these football fans just complaining about it really vocally, saying that she became sort of a sideshow and more attention was being paid to her suite at the stadium than the game itself.
Yeah. But the real question
but there's so much downtime in football games anyway. Then what are they going to do? It's easy coverage,
no,
easy ratings.
There's all sorts of but also, Mary, what does Michael Rapaport think about it? That's the real question. What does Michael Rapaport
regardless
think about
of whether Taylor Swift leaves the Super Bowl engaged, Michael Rapaport wants her leaving in tears. He says he hopes that the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl so that Taylor Swift will cry in front of the cameras. I want to see that mascara running. That's kind of sick.
It's a little rude.
He said, I'm hoping to see Taylor Swift cry. I want to see if her mascara can hold up after a ginormous loss. And we know she loves her man when he's winning, but will she still ride with him when he takes a ginormous loss? What do you think?
Yes.
Is she a ride or die?
I don't think that she really cares whether he wins the Super Bowl again or not. In fact, I would be willing to bet, like first of all, wasn't she an Eagles fan her whole life? I'm almost positive that she was an Eagles fan her whole life.
I don't know.
But I would almost be willing to bet that she's not too far away from a person. So it could go one of 2 ways. Either she's like really, really into it, or I just hope both teams have fun. And she's supporting the Chiefs because he plays for them.
Right. She's diehard Chiefs fan.
But I feel like she was. I
feel
feel like she was an Eagles fan growing up or something like that, and people used to talk about that.
She's from Pennsylvania.
There you go.
So maybe, I don't know. He continued, she's up there with, you never know who's going to be in the booth. I want to see that mascara running on Sunday. Running. I want to hear her call out, why didn't he throw the ball to my boyfriend? I want to hear that kind of confusion and chaos. He wants Taylor Swift to get super petty and point fingers over the game.
I mean, that'd be kind of funny. I mean, you don't really see her lose her composure much, so.
I don't think I've ever seen a moment like that. Like, Taylor Swift has never had a public freak out. She's so controlled that she almost seems like a sociopath.
That's
so,
well, you kind of have to.
I don't see that happening.
Not uncommon for somebody to reach that level of fame to be a little bit like that.
My crazy prediction is that she's not going to be in attendance just to support Travis. She's going to have a cameo in the halftime show
with
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
I think she's going to come out with the dubstep version of Trouble right in the middle, like as the bridge for Not Like Us. How about that?
I don't think they do that.
No?
I don't think they do that.
No?
I don't think they do that.
She's had him on a song before, I remember.
I mean, they're still trying to figure out whether they're going to allow the lyrics in there because they don't want to get sued by Drake.
I'm surprised Kendrick is the halftime performer to begin with. I thought...
Where's Sabrina Carpenter?
Like, I don't know.
They wouldn't
it's
do
just
Sabrina Carpenter.
It's just weird, right? Like, does he really have that big of a fan base?
Yes.
Because I listen to his songs here and there, I just hear like snippets of his songs, and it's just awful.
He's never been like he just has a voice that grates me. Like,
And the lyrics they tend to be super pretentious as well. He just seems really annoying.
J. Cole was always the better, in my opinion. Just my personal opinion. J. Cole
and everyone was
better.
like wanting something really patriotic and American. Like everyone really wanted Creed. And that's just not going to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think they're even going to let him perform Not Like Us?
He is going to perform it. The question is whether he's going to censor out the lyrics about.
But you would have to censor the
whole
entire
song. Yeah,
freaking song. That's the question. Like at that point, why even try?
We'll have to wait and see.
He literally says like Drake is a PDF file in the song, and that presents huge legal liability for the NFL and everything broadcasting this game. So
you're not wrong. Dull and tired. J. Cole is more pretentious, but as far as he's also pretentious, but just as far as actual delivery goes, was always more my speed. I think if you were gonna put odds on it right now, I would avoid. Just my personal opinion. I shouldn't say USA. If I was to put money on it, I would probably put money on him not proposing at the Super Bowl. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, same. I would put money on him not
I
proposing.
I feel like it ends up being a slap in the face because it becomes everything it's about for the rest of the day, and that's a disservice to his team members.
They're millennials. If they're staying true to form, they'll be dating for at least a decade before there's a ring.
And we didn't even get into the fact that the media tried to corner these guys and get like awful sound bites out. Like, so Donald Trump is going to be the first president in history to attend the Super Bowl. What do you think about that? And they're like, well, I'm screwed because any answer I give is going to get politicized.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, that's an honor. What they're saying is like playing in front of any president. Now, like Travis Kelce might as well just come out as MAGA. When that's not what he said.
Taylor Swift sees the headline and she texts him like, how dare you say that?
I did see that I think Trump offered congratulations to Patrick and Brittany Mahomes over the birth of their most recent child.
Oh, because Brittany Mahomes is like a huge Trumpy.
She is. Ooh, Trumpy.
I don't mean it in a bad way.
That's worse than Trumper, which is actually awful.
What's the difference between a Trumpy and
I feel
a
like
Trumper?
Trumpy is positive and Trumper is supposed to be negative.
I don't know. I didn't mean it either way.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.